happening in Spain. There is 43% unemployment among the people that is under 35. 46% of unemployment. That's basically half of the active population. And what they are doing? Rising the retirement age. That's logic, so people cannot work. Yeah? So all these kind of measures are what have here Greek down. So now the bankers can buy it cheap. That's what they are trying to make in Spain. So now the bankers and the companies can buy Spain cheap. That's what they are going to try to do in Denmark. They are actually doing it in Denmark. Last week there was a demonstration, the workers of some company called CSC, where the company is an American company, and they came and decided, we're going to cut your salary 30%. What is the Danish government doing? Nothing. They are not even in the news, right? So it's not far away. It's happening in Europe and it's coming here. So I think we better take some decisions. We better have a clear mind about what's going on and what we are going to do. And at least, if we cannot change nothing now, because that's going to be difficult, at least we have to be aware of what's going on. We have to start talking about it. We have to start unveiling the truth. So I think what the things we can start doing now is developing a small manifest, a small document where we show that we are actually aware of what's going on, where we show that we actually don't want that and we want something different. What that's going to be? I have no clue. I have no magic solutions. I have no bag of tricks. That's something we all have to decide together. Because again, we don't want clever people in a dark room called Parliament deciding for anybody. We don't want the clever people who seem to know everything fucking up our lives. It's time for everybody to speak by itself. So I'm not going to come here with magical formulas or anything. Now it's time for us to talk. So I think we should start trying to gather ideas for this common document that we keep using to tell the world, this is what we think, this is where we want to go. So, yeah, so let's try to be organized. I'm going to be taking notes of the ideas for this document, and let's try to be organized in the discussions. We are a lot of people. We have to be patient. Maybe you have to wait for 20 minutes until you get your voice out, but that's the way to go. I mean, let's be patient. We are also learning how to do this. I mean, not so many people have done this before, so we have to learn from our own experiences and be patient and lenient with each other's mistakes. Okay? So, Victor is going to take care of who is the turn of speaking. I'm going to try to take care of as many ideas as I have time to catch. And then in the next event, which I don't know what will be, we will decide what will be the next event. We will come with a document that is summarizing those ideas, and then we will decide we like that document or we want to change something else on it. Sounds that like a good plan?
Yeah.
Woo! Coolness. Yeah, come here. Not even in the news, right? So it's not far away. It's happening in Europe and it's coming here. So I think we better take some decisions. We better have a clear mind about what's going on and what we are going to do. And at least, if we cannot change nothing now, because that's going to be difficult, at least we have to be aware of what's going on. We have to start talking about it. We have to start unveiling the truth. So I think what the things we can start doing now is developing a small manifest, a small document where we show that we are actually aware of what's going on, where we show that we actually don't want that and we want something different. What that's going to be? I have no clue. I have no magic solutions. I have no bag of tricks. That's something we all have to decide together. Because again, we don't want clever people in a dark room called Parliament deciding for anybody. We don't want the clever people who seem to know everything fucking up our lives. It's time for everybody to speak by itself. So I'm not going to come here with magical formulas or anything. Now it's time for us to talk. So I think we should start trying to gather ideas for this common document that we keep using to tell the world, this is what we think, this is where we want to go. So, yeah, so let's try to be organized. I'm going to be taking notes of the ideas for this document. And let's try to be organized in the discussions. We are a lot of people. We have to be patient. Maybe you have to wait for 20 minutes until you get your voice out. But that's the way to go. I mean, let's be patient. We are also learning how to do this. I mean, not so many people have done this before. So we have to learn from our own experiences and be patient and lenient with each other's mistakes. Okay? So Victor is going to take care of who is the turn of speaking. I'm going to try to take care of as many ideas as I have time to catch. And then in the next event, which I don't know what will be, we will decide what will be the next event. We will come with a document that is summarizing those ideas, and then we will decide we like that document or we want to change something else on it. Sounds that like a good plan?
Yeah.
Woo! Cool. Yeah, come here.
Next Wednesday in Brillinge, and I'm just want to tell you I'm studying in a place called Copenhagen Pedagogic Seminarium, and we have many cuts the last many years, and now the plan have a new plan that's even more crazy. Our institution is like assembly of many institutions, and the bosses on the top want to buy Carlsberg, the whole area, the Vesterbro, for more than 1 billion, and make one big institution where there should be about 12,000 students. And our institution is called UCC, and next Wednesday they will decide this, if they go to the government and ask to borrow this money. What will this mean? This will mean centralization. It will mean that a lot of students will go to an anonymous place and have some lessons with somebody they don't know and some people they actually don't know at all. And it means less lessons, and it means the worst quality of education is possible. So I hope many people will show up. It will be at 6 o'clock starting in the evening in Brillinge, near Brillinge Station. It's at Brillinge Hovedgade 80. And if you want to know more, just come to me, I will tell you more. Thanks.
Now we will say the money for the ones who are working, right? And they made a flag with 3 words: liberté, égalité, fraternité. And we're always forgetting about that. So I think those 3 words should definitely be in our document: freedom, equality, fraternity. Who's next?
Okay, raise your hands, come on. Who's first? Some ideas? Sorry? Okay.
I mean, no need to come here if you don't want. You can just stand up and talk, right? I know it's a bit violent. We don't like violence. Yes.
It's about transparency. Transparency about who is the rulers. The few 300 people who hold the money. 70% of all free given resources, we're not talking about state money, but money free for the people, are holding in the hands of 300 people, better known as the Illuminati group or the Bilderberg group. They plan things in ahead of us, and these are the people who keep our politicians as puppets. They support anything, even our doom. First of all, know your enemy, find them and make them sure that we know them. And how we do it? The most important thing is they don't like to be seen. They fear it. But they will do whatever it takes to keep the mouth of us shut up. But don't fear that. Say it like this: I dare, and I get to dare, without end to dare.
Thank you. You can come here or you can speak from there.
I have beer support here.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in conspiracy theories, but transparency is a good thing. And maybe there should be something called transparency about politicians, where they really get their money from, because everybody talks about this and there's a law and blah blah blah, but not really. It's not really sure. And maybe we should demand that what they say they actually do, because right now in the Grundlagen this saying something, you can say what you want, you can do what you want, and blah 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 blah, and nobody, like, it doesn't. So maybe there should be a demand that says clearly that they have to do it if they're representatives.
I like this. Let's keep it brief so everybody have a chance to talk. Come on, who else has ideas? What should we put in that document?
Okay, I'll say something.
Please.
I think, as I mentioned before, that we realize finally that the problem is the system. The problem is the liberal democracy, the representative liberal democracy. So I think that in the manifest should be the claim for a radical participative democracy. It has to be more horizontal, not decisions taken in a parliament where we can actually not control them. So I think the first idea, from my point of view, in the manifest could be, we want another system. The liberal democracy is not working anymore. They are not representing us. They are representing the bankers. So we want to have a voice, and we know that we can have a voice. So that's the reason we are here doing an assembly. So I think we should start for changing the system. Participative radical democracy, republican values, everyone has rights, and everyone should be able to speak what they think and when they want. We don't need someone to represent us, we represent ourselves.
Hello everyone, I'm unemployed, I'm alone and a little bit nervous, so you have to forgive my trembling a bit. Anyway, have you ever noticed that whenever you read a paper or you watch the news, everyone is trying to tell you that money and economy is the one and the same? It's not. Money is a representation of the economy, and economy is built on three pillars. It's resources, workforce, labor, and knowledge. And I think it's important to remind people that economy is not about the money supply, it's about the resources, the labor, and the knowledge. Thank you.
Jeg vil egentlig gerne sige det jeg vil også gerne sige det på dansk. Jeg vil godt lige sige først, at Spanien har 40% arbejdsløshed registreret. Vi har også en meget stor arbejdsløshed registreret, eller den er ikke registreret som det. Vi har 300.000 på psykofarmaka. Vi har, jeg ved ikke, mange på overførselsindkomster, hvilket selvfølgelig er fedt. Bare det, at halvdelen af danskerne arbejder for meget, den anden halvdel laver ikke noget, og det er en ubalance. Jeg vil rigtig gerne, at jeg personligt kunne få 3 timer. Jeg gider ikke tage 6, for så har jeg ikke tid til hverken at kysse min kæreste, eller passe mit barn, eller danse eller synge. Eller leve. Men 3 timer til hver. I want to say that in English, that we have not written down that we have unemployment as Spain has 40%, but we have a hidden unemployment. We have 300,000 people in psychiatric system, and it is, we can talk a lot about that. And then we have elder people, we have people on overførselsindkomst, I don't know the word. But anyway, we have half of the population who works as hell and don't have time for anything, and the other part who doesn't do anything. And this is too little and too much is damaging. And it is as it is in the world, that half has too much and are fat as hell, and the other one has nothing. So share, that's, thanks.
You wanna come here or you?
Just stay from here.
Okay. Yeah. Can you stand up?
Okay, I can stand up. I agree with you. I think it should be in the manifest about more participation and not no politician, no representation. We need to take the decisions where they matter to the people, not just like now. If a politician make a local plan, then you can come and maybe be allowed to disagree. It needs to be planned where it happens. But also I think it's important to have something in there about anti-capitalism. Because liberalistic democracy is also about the economy and the economy holders having a bigger voice. The more money, the bigger voice. So I just want to add that I think it should also be there. But else I really like what you said, it should be in there also. And the economy is the reason we are being competitive to each other. And when it's happening all over Europe, we can stand together. And also practically, I think this group should stay together and we should talk about the next action and for example maybe not a weekly demonstration but a monthly demonstration where we can meet and we can support each other. If something happens to one another, we can meet and do something about it, I think. So.
We're talking about anti-capitalism and, you know, like how to find a better way of doing things. I have a question for the people, because I don't know very well, you know, how the Danish participatory system works. The voice of the people, right? It's more a question than any other thing. It's just, you know, trying to find... Do you understand the question? Maybe, you know, like I'm not expressing myself properly.
Repeat it again.
How can we demand our institutions to change things? Right? How?
You can't.
Bureaucracy.
They don't give a shit.
Money is failing.
Sure. Sure. Well, may I just put an example? You know, just trying to be quick here. You know, I don't feel comfortable, you know, holding this thing. But like some other countries, like Switzerland, are one of the most capitalist countries in the world. Still, they have a referendum system where anyone can have an idea and can just try to convince people to get signatures, right? Like this referendum system in Spain cannot work because the only person that is can call for a referendum in Spain is the president of the country. So, you know, unless you are the son or the daughter of the president, you might not be able to succeed, right? In calling for a referendum, right?
Are we the president?
What should we include? You know, that we want a referendum system, for instance. I don't know, that's the right question.
Let me answer that. Everything doesn't have to do with politics. If everybody just each day, just one time a day, express their meaning, their feelings to some other people, some random people, and just share their knowledge, their love, their meanings. If we each day just do that and spread the word of love, just basically, seriously, I know it sounds ridiculous, but if we just, each of us, give something away to somebody else, if we do something good, automatically this will spread through the world. Nothing to do with politics, because politics sucks ass. So it's basic, it's so easy, it's logic. It's nothing hocus pocus. Huh?
Sorry. He's waiting. If you want to, it's because otherwise it's going to be a chaos. And it's going to be impossible.
I'm just answering his question.
No, it's okay, but try to raise your hand because...
I did, sorry, yeah.
It's okay.
Thank you.
The quick response to the question that the government made is that no, you don't have any way of making a referendum in Denmark if you're just an ordinary citizen. You cannot do it. The parties can do it if they are many people together, but ordinary citizens can't. So
I want to react to what Vitor said before, because I think this is about more than just being able to speak one's mind. I think the problem is not that we're not able to speak our mind. I can stand up in a square, I can shout into a wall, but that is all I'm doing. Every time I speak my mind, I shout into a wall because there's nobody listening who can change anything. I think the question is about whether or not we can take decisions and have the right to carry through the decisions that we make. This is a fundamental question. I think this is also what we see in Spain and in Greece. When thousands of people participate in assemblies like this, they actually gain the power to also affect some of the decisions that have been made. I think taking decisions means that you can also act on those decisions and carry them through. I think this is very important for our manifesto. Another thing I want to react on was what another speaker said about resources. I think it's very important to state that the resources of all countries should belong to its citizens and not to transnational groups or strange corporations that we have no control with. What is in the earth and what is around us belongs to the people who are there. It is theirs to dispose of, it is theirs to use or not to use as they see fit. I think this moving of decisions out to smaller groups, decentralizing the democratic structures is very important in order to make a transition that can also guarantee an environment and a world that is worth living in 100 years. We have a system that cannot see further than 2 or 3 years forward, which the Greek experience shows us. I think we as ordinary people need to have a system where we can guarantee to our kids that they will also have as good an environment and even better working conditions, even better lives than we have led. I think this is the crux of the problem here. I think this is what we are aiming for, to make a better life for those who are after us than the one we have had. And we are the first generation since the Second World War who are not going to see a better life than our parents had unless we ourselves rise up and change something. I'm very glad you're all here. Thank you.
I think we have to talk about the resources a lot, because what's the problem in Denmark is there's a lot of resources, and I will call this institutionalized solidarity. But solidarity institutionalized doesn't work, because people don't know what's going on with the resources. They don't see it, and they think in their mind, we do the real thing, and we're helping people, but we don't help people, because unemployed people are in a really bad situation. Even if they get help, they get treated like shit. So there has to be accountability on the social system, as much as in the political system. And that's really important for me. Thanks.
Hello. We were talking about resources, and I work. Jesus, can you hold it? We're talking about resources, and we really need to focus on that. I stand here, I represent myself, but also a little bit Greenpeace, which I work for, and we really have to stress the fact that resources are finite. There is a resource scarcity. They're depletable, and we only have a finite amount of them. So if we keep extracting them and throwing out without recycling it, I mean, come on, it doesn't take a genius to realize that the following generations, they won't have anything left. So if we care about the generations to come, we have to focus on the concept of sustainability. Sustainability, with regards to environment. So a resource-based economy, which I also know that the Zeitgeist movement over here, they're also very concerned about that in their agenda. We really have to focus on that resource-based economy. It's depletable. We need to have a more recycling-based economy. Yeah, definitely.
It might not be the most clever thing to say, or you might not feel like that, but it may trigger something on somebody else's brain. So share whatever you have in there, share it, because it might become greater and bigger when you share it with the people. Don't be shy. Come on.
Raul, I have an idea. Can you open the beer for me?